Well, despite that slight sell-off, Ford Motors made some big headlines today, announcing who will take over for CEO Alan Mulally when he steps down exactly 2 months from today. Phil LeBeau has the story on what lies ahead for Ford.
A big day in the auto industry as the Ford Motor Company announced the succession plans for CEO Alan Mulally, who will be stepping down on July 1st. He'll be replaced by COO Mark Fields at a town hall meeting today at the company's headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. Fields says he has no plans to alter Ford's business plan in the near future.
Our One Ford plan has served us so well over the years, and it is going to continue to serve us well.
Fields has served as COO running the day-to-day operations at Ford since late in 2012. But why did Ford finally decide that he was the person who should replace Mulally? Chairman Bill Ford says it was all about finding the right candidate both inside and outside of Ford.
I got to make sure that we are scouring the globe for the best talent. But, you know, I really kept coming back internally, as did Alan, to Mark, because we thought he was a great candidate. He's grown tremendously as an executive, and as I said, really importantly, he's part of the culture of Ford that I think is so positive.
As for outgoing Ford CEO Alan Mulally, he says he is focused on his final 2 months at Ford, and beyond that, he's not indicating any plans in terms of working for another company or taking another position in corporate America. But make no mistake, Alan Mulally will be in demand.
I haven't decided what I'm going to do next because my most important priority has been this orderly transition, but I really look forward to the future, and I look forward to serving. But I like that, you know, that retirement thing sounds a little bit good too. So,
Alan Mulally's legacy at Ford, the stock price appreciated 92% over the last 8 years, and when you look at how the financials did for Ford in his first 2 years, between 2006 and 2008. Ford lost $30 billion as he was right-sizing the company and dealing with an auto industry that was imploding. Since 2008, Ford has made $42 billion. Phil LeBeau, Nightly Business Report, Hartford, Connecticut.
So will that momentum continue? Will Ford continue to shine? Our next guest thinks so, and he has an outperform on the stock. He's Emmanuel Rosner, U.S. Autos Analyst for CLSA Americas. Emmanuel, welcome. Good to have you with us. Mr. Mulally stepping aside, a charismatic executive, always seemingly very positive. What will the cultural change be like inside of Ford? Will it be big, small, what?
So Mulally certainly has accomplished a tremendous lot well at Ford, but we think that Mark Fields will very much continue in his path. He was the lieutenant of Mulally, and he was in charge of, in particular, of implementing the One Ford plan, which is exactly what has gotten Ford where it is. So we think that the culture and also the business plan, everything is likely to stay in the continuity of Mullally's accomplishments.
Very briefly, he mentioned One Ford plan. You just did. What is it?
So One Ford plan is essentially making better cars, but it's also cars that are the same, based on a small amount of platforms and sold across the world on that particular platform. So it improves the quality, it reduces the cost, and more generally improves their profitability in a pretty major way.
At Ford, they used to say, what is our job one? It was quality. What is job one for Mark Fields? What's going to be his biggest challenge on July 1st?
So the biggest challenge for Ford, but also its biggest opportunity this year, is essentially the launch of the F-150 pickup at the end of this year. This accounts for half of the North American profits. It's been the best-selling vehicle in the U.S. For the past 32 years. And essentially, Mark Fields has to make sure that this is done right from an execution point of view. This will be a revolutionary pickup, mostly because it's the first one made entirely of aluminum. And when we did analysis on it, we think it will knock the socks off the competition on almost every performance metric. So a hugely important vehicle for Ford, hugely important for profitability. And his job one should be making sure, take his time, make sure that this launch is executed in a flawless manner.
Is your very favorable rating on the stock largely tied to what you anticipate the profits will be coming out of this new Ford F-150? Is that going to be a real profit driver? And I assume you assume it will be.
Correct. So what we tell investors at this point is essentially this year is likely to be a bumpy ride because there's significant amount of things on Ford's plate from an execution point of view, tremendous amount of investments for the future, both in the US with the F-150 pickup, but also in China, a lot of new plants opening. In Europe, they have to close a plant. There's a lot on Ford's plate. But the point is, we think that these will pay a very handsome dividend starting next year. And so we tell investors it's going to be a bumpy road this year. Earnings may get impacted, the stock may get impacted, but use any potential weakness to accumulate for the long term. We think that it will be a major, major profit driver.
Very quickly, can Lincoln be turned around, saved?
I think it's going to be challenging. The product is significantly better. The branding takes a tremendous amount of time to turn around. So I think it may be more geared towards exports and China in particular rather than the U.S.
Very interesting. Emmanuel Rosner, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Emmanuel's with, you're very welcome, CLSA America.